What's up guys, welcome back to today's video, and today we're going to be looking at, is ARK Survival worth getting in 2024? And if so, what is ARK Survival? So, ARK Survival is a game where you're practically stranded on an island with dinosaurs, depends which world you go to, and practically the aim of the game is to collect artifacts from caves practically and use those artifacts to fight final bosses. Then with all those final bosses, the final bosses drop something. With that, you bring them all together to fight the final boss, which is, well, I've actually never done that before, but I've seen lots of videos on it. Anyway, practically what happens is you spawn on an island just like I am now, and you practically craft your tools, get ready, get the basics done, and yeah, you just build your house, build your stuff, build whatever you need. And the thing with Ark is you can also tame dinosaurs. It's just you can ride tame dinosaurs. It's so fun, so fun. I promise you guys. Even if you're playing solo player, it's one of the most addictive, fun games I have ever played in my life. It is extremely confusing because of how realistic it actually is. For example, using medicines, antibiotics, narcotics, stuff like that. It's really confusing, but once you learn how to actually do it, how to play the game properly, it is really fun. For example, you're gonna need to play a few worlds to finally get how to use engram points, which is what I'm using right away now. Practically just increasing your chances of survival and learning new blueprints. I'll just say, blueprints, in case you didn't know, are like, just to make it more simplified, it's like practically like it's like saying, teaching you how to create that item that you've just unlocked. The lower down you are, the more simple items you'll create, and the higher up you are, the more well exciting and awesome items you'll create. For example, practically what I just done here is I've learned how to make a spear, and now if I go into my inventory, I can see, for example, I'm making clothes now, which requires fiber, which I can get from plants. So that's the realistic element to the game, which is quite confusing to learn, but it's really easy once you know what to do, just the basics and stuff. I'm still probably learned half of the game. I've really, it's just, yeah, I haven't played the game much since it came out, and then updated quite a bit when Wildcard made it a bit different to how it is. As you can see ahead of me, they're dodos. Don't just trust me. Don't tame a dodo. It's just not. It's just bad. Okay. Um, I was looking for a spear here. But practically, what you want to do is tame dinos. You unlock saddles, that you unlock blueprints for saddles in your engram points, which is why it's so important to level up. And that's another element of the game that you need to know. Just making sure you can level up in order to create the saddles. Obviously, you're not going to learn a T-Rex saddle as soon as you load in, because Ark Survival's not expecting you to know what a T-Rex. They're not expecting you to encounter a T-Rex early on. You might. I think the first saddle you know is a Fioma, which practically is Ark telling you Fiomas are probably the animal you're most likely to tame first. But that's just a different story. You don't have to tame it. It's just that I don't tame Fiomas. Mainly the point of Ark is to just kind of build your empire is how I see it. Like use your resources that are around you to kind of make ends meet and stuff, and just like just like build a massive empire is how I like to think of it. Taming dinosaurs, it's so realistic. You can breed dinosaurs. For example, you need it's a big realistic element to the game which you need to know. Use just general knowledge. For example, I mean, like you in order to get um a baby dinosaur, whatever, you're gonna need a male and a female and stuff. So yeah, all that. And then some dinosaurs produce live birth. I had that once or twice. It's kind of funny, but and others just lay an egg which you have to incubate. For example, trust me, it's not that hard. Well, there we go. There's you just poo randomly. Don't even question that. But yeah, you need just general knowledge on the time to understand the game properly, which is really important. Obviously, you're probably going to be wondering, how on earth do I tame a dinosaur? Now, the way to do this is by it's element of realistic, not so realistic though. The idea is you knock it out and then you feed it. Well, Berries. Okay, let's just pretend that's normal, and it becomes your best friend forever. Okay, but yeah, the harder the animal is, the higher level, which is important. Levels practically determine how strong or weak the dinosaur is. For example, seeing a level 10 raptor is going to be easier to tame than a level, I think 150 is the highest you can go for a raptor, because for example, when you use your engram points, it increases your um increases whatever you're increasing. For example, if I use my engram points on weight, for example, it will increase my weight so I can hold more wood or whatever I want. Um, which is practically what the Raptors do, but they make it like, for example, they'd increase their health, so they're harder to knock out. Now, there are certain weapons which you can use to knock out certain dinosaurs. Well, no, to make them torpid, which means knocked out. So, for example, you can't use stone arrows because that will just kill them, which is not what you want if you want to tame them. There's a difference between killing and taming. So, yeah, there's certain weapons. I'll make another video of that on my channel for Ark for beginners, but that's just what Ark Survival is in about 6 minutes. And yeah, let's move on. Is it worth buying? So, is Ark Survival actually worth buying in 2024? Personally, I definitely say so. If you like that kind of creative like adventure games and you really like dinosaurs, for example, or you just like creative games and it's really fun that you can go along with the storyline. You can play it for as long as you want. It's more like an investment. It's just like you just buy it and then for the you can play it for as long as you want. It's so fun, and for the pretty decent considering all the highly priced video games today, around I'd say £15 for Ark Survival. It's a bit yeah, it's I think it's definitely worth the £15 that it charges. But I'd probably say it's it's the price for value is definitely there. So it definitely lives above its value of £15. So I definitely say it's worth buying if you like kind of that action, that just creative building up your kind of empire or whatever, making like just improving as you go, adventuring is awesome. Flying on Petrotrons is the greatest feeling ever. I can promise you guys that. It's just so fun, to be honest. It's definitely worth the investment, I'd say. But there are some catches with it. As you can see, it's quite a highly you need quite a decent laptop should be fine if you're asking me. Um, about that. I'd say probably you can't play it on a 50 no, not 50, like a £2 laptop, because that's just not gonna work. But any laptop that can run, I'd say probably Fortnite, COD, okay, actually quite well. That should be absolutely fine. I also before, if you're planning to play with friends, probably the best bit about Ark, if you ask me, just goofing around, knocking each other out with torpid arrows or whatever. I definitely suggest looking at the crossplay ability, which is quite limited in Arc, which is why it's really important. I'm gonna go over a brief explanation of what you can crossplay and what you can't. For example, PlayStation and Xbox and Switch, you cannot crossplay with those. Um, Less likely with, so PlayStation can't crossplay with anyone apart from PlayStation. PC, sorry, Nintendo Switch cannot crossplay with um any other consoles or PCs apart from Nintendo Switch. And then Xbox, bit of an exception, which is why Xbox players are a bit of an advantage. You can play crossplay, but not with anyone apart from PC players. It's a bit confusing. You can, but Xbox players can only play with Microsoft players on PC. For example, if my friend, which is what I do sometimes, has Ark Survival Evolved on his Xbox and has the Game Pass, of course, if you want to play online, then if I have the Microsoft version of Ark Survival Evolved, we can both play because I am running Ark through the Xbox app or Microsoft Store. So yeah, but there is an exception. That's the only problem. The thing is, on Steam, Steam is a different thing to Xbox. For example, if you're a Steam player, you cannot play with anyone apart from your own, well, Steam itself, players on Steam. So a player on Steam cannot play with a player on Microsoft or Xbox app, or a player on Xbox. So we're just going to treat Steam like its literal own console. Um, which limits it a bit. But yeah, the only two that can crossplay are PC Microsoft Windows. Well, not you don't have to have a Windows computer. A Microsoft Store Ark Survival Evolved and Xbox Ark Survival Evolved. If you're playing on Xbox and want to play with your friend on Microsoft Teams, you have to have Xbox Game Pass, of course, just to let you know before you get scammed. Um, but yeah, I definitely say if you're enjoying if you like this kind of game, it's definitely worth it. Just making sure if you want to play with friends that you've got to have the right type of arc to play, which is what I've explained. But yeah, so practically just remember Microsoft. Oh yeah, sorry. Also, Microsoft players can play with their friends on Microsoft as well. Um, so yeah, if I'm a Microsoft player, Microsoft Arc player, and my friend's a Microsoft Arc player, we can also play together. So yeah, because Microsoft and Xbox have that thing where like they're practically like best friends. But if you're playing PlayStation, Switch, you can only play with other PlayStation, Switch players if you have um PlayStation Nintendo Switch membership. I forgot what it was called. But practically, I'd say it's definitely worth giving a try if you like this kind of game. As you can see here, there's some gameplay here. This is not as advanced as it gets. It gets a lot more advanced, and this is awesome to play. So I definitely recommend it to you guys if you do like this and have a PC that can run it, because the graphics are amazing. I like to turn my graphics down to sometimes so realistic it hurts my eyes. But definitely if you like dinosaurs, or whatever, it's just like so realistic. It's just one of the best games I've ever played, most addictive games I've ever played. Whether you're playing multiplayer or single player, it's just you can't stop. And it's a good game. I'd really recommend it to anyone who likes that kind of dinosaurs kind of thing like that. Well, growing, it's not just dinosaurs. It's adds a different element like kind of bosses and stuff, King Kong kind of thing like that. Well, not actually King Kong, but like you kind of have to fight bosses. It is like a tech element to it and a realistic element during the early game, which it's practically making your advancement to humanity now, from stone axes to high tech stuff. And riding dinosaurs, riding T Rexes is awesome. I just go around and just like destroy every dodo on my side. So I definitely recommend, if you like that kind of idea, definitely go try it out. It's on yeah, it's on Xbox, Switch, PlayStation. Just make sure if you're trying to play with your mates, just make sure they've got the correct arc you need. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. What do you think of Ark? Do you think it's worth it? And let me know what I should do for my next video. See ya.